said, Tim will speak first, then Ryan will say a few words, then we'll be open to questions. So, Tim.
All right. Thanks, everyone. It's good to see a good turnout here. It's an exciting day for our footy club. We're 10 seasons in and we've been a successful program for most of that period, but we are entering a new era. We have a new coach sitting next to me. His name is Ryan Davis. We'd like to welcome him to the footy club. He's passionate about women's footy. He's been interested in coaching even through his playing days. He coached his own team. He was led up the Southport Sharks. I think Margot is crying in the background. He's 6-month-old in the background. So he's brought the whole family, which is great. So led his own team, coached the 2 premierships at Southport Sharks and a runners-up. He's been part of Brisbane's program that we've looked at from afar, and they're a very successful program. He's led their midfield, and he went through a process with our footy club, and we were just excited to have someone with his footy IQ, someone with his passion, and someone with his drive as we go through what is a little bit of a reset for our program, because we're all about sustained success for our footy club, and we think Ryan is going to take us there. So I'd like to welcome you officially, Ryan.
Thank you, mate.
To our footy club, and I know you're going to be very successful in the role. So if we could give Ryan a round of applause.
Thank you very much. Thanks for everyone being here and all the players and the staff. I appreciate that greatly. I'd just like to start by saying what an honour it is to be down at this footy club. It's such a rich club with such fantastic history in both programs, and I'm really looking forward to the opportunity of leading this playing group and this coaching staff into the new era going forward in 2026. So thank you all very much for having me here.
Ryan, welcome to Adelaide firstly, but can you talk us through how this deal got done? Who first approached who?
Adelaide reached out and touched base with me, and just the thought of being able to come to such an exciting program and a benchmark program of the competition over the last 10 years was really appealing to me, and the list profile as well. There's a lot of hardened finals campaigners in this team, and also heading into the draft and trade period now, being able to add talent to this list, it's a pretty exciting prospect.
You've been assistant for a couple of years now. How do you know you're ready to take that step up into the senior role?
I suppose being involved in starting the program at Southport from the ground up, going through the process of the list build, the culture, the values, the integrity pieces, and all that, and also being closely watched with Craig Starcevich and how he goes about his business and the program up at Brisbane. Thought that held me in really good stead to be able to lead the next era here.
What was your reaction when you got told you had the role?
It was quite good. Unbridled joy, I think. Unbridled joy, I think, is how we would best class that. But it was very exciting. It's been a dream of mine for quite a while to be able to head up a program, and being able to be at the Adelaide Crows is seriously a dream come true. So very, very grateful to be here.
What about the missus and the family? How did they feel about the move?
Fantastic. Lauren and her baby Margot, they're really excited. We've got a lot of really good friends down here in Adelaide. Love the beach, and so being close to the water is a pretty big thing, and being able to have some sunsets over the water is going to be pretty exciting as well. But we really love Adelaide. A nice small country beachside town is right up our alley.
Pretty big shoes to fill, quite literally. What sort of pressure comes with that, with such a successful club here?
I think there's pressure involved in taking on any sort of head coaching role. Not taking away what Doc has done in the last sort of 8 years has been incredibly fantastic and successful. But what that's given us now is a fantastic launchpad for going on in terms of what 2026 and beyond looks like. Any club, any list of players is really looking to build on what their predecessors have done. So the players before them here, the current group, and the coaching staff before me, we're always looking to get better and better. So big shoes, but I'll be wearing my own, and everyone will be looking forward to getting the best out of each other as we go forward.
Do you have a doctorate in anything?
40. Nah. No doctors.
So what style are you going to bring to the team?
I'd say my coaching style is fun. It is a game first and foremost, but I do bring a hard edge of what clear standards are in terms of what needs to be done at the right time, at the right place and the right time. and really demanding the best from myself. I expect the players to demand that from me, as I'll demand that from them. So a pretty strong, hard edge in terms of what's expected on field, training days and all the rest of it, but they can hold me to account of that as well.
You come in at a fairly challenging time for the club. You had 2 players who requested trades. Some players are getting older. The standard of the competition is lifting higher. How do you get to that next level for the Crows?
Yeah, I think that's the nature of the beast with players exploring options elsewhere. That's what happens in football, and you do need to move on pretty quickly and see what can we start getting for those players in terms of the draft and the trade period coming up. Lists always need to be regenerated and renewed, and going forward, I think we'll talk to the players and the staff at more length over the coming weeks and coming months about how our program will look and what our game style will look like going forward, and staying up to date and evolving with the current trends of the game. You can see it's getting faster and faster. Yes, Dale. You can see it's getting faster and faster with the less amount of stoppages and more of a transition game. So those things will certainly be taken into consideration as we plan for 2026.
You talked about coaching philosophies. What about game style?
Again, with how the game is evolving, trying to stay on the current trend or being ahead of the trends, I certainly think the game is now quite a fast transitional game. So how well we can move the football, at the same time how well are we defending the space and the grass around that, so when we do turn it over we can own the front half and lock it in the front half and build pressure from that perspective.
You've not been a senior coach, so it might be hard to answer, but has it ever been tougher to be a senior coach in this competition?
I think being in the hot seat at any level is always challenging. You're always going to have roles and responsibilities, but I'll be learning on the job as well as some of these players will be. But the team around us already is fantastic, and I've heard nothing but fantastic things about the Crows staff and playing group from afar. So being able to be involved on the inner sanctum now is pretty exciting. But heard nothing but fantastic things with the people inside the 4 walls.
What did the Crows and the other 16 clubs close the gap on?
Well, we'll get to that in the pre-season. Clearly, that's a fantastic bar that we need to chase, and it's good that the competition is getting challenged so hard to close that gap. So we can't sit there and rest on our laurels. We've got to keep evolving and figuring out how we do close the gap. And I've got a fair few ideas, and I'm looking forward to hearing the players and the coaches' perspective on that as well, so we can build something over the coming months and get stuck into it in the new year.
Sorry, what were your biggest learnings from Stars up in Brisbane, as someone that's obviously created his own level of success up there?
Yeah, Craig's a very cool, calm, collected operator. I think his ability to sort of ruminate on things and make good quality decisions off the back of that. It's not really jumping from lane to lane. It's very considered and direct in his approach, but also his ability to galvanise a group, being able to tell a story at the right time, build hope at the right time, challenge them at the right time, and also know when to pull back. So in terms of managing a playing group, managing the emotions, that's probably one of the biggest things that I've taken away from Stars and the Lions, and also that as coaches early on in the program, I think we still have a responsibility to how the game looks, to play a good, attractive brand of football, to attract fans, to attract new fans to the footy club, get some people interested. So in that regard as well, I'd like to be playing a fantastic, exciting, attractive brand of football that our players love to play and our fans love to watch, and also bring players to want to come and play here as well.
Ryan, I don't like to point this out in front of the playing group, but I think Adelaide's lost their last 7 games against Brisbane. Are you hoping that you're the man that can finally end that streak when you come up against your old side?
That'd be ideal. That'd be ideal. What was it, 3 or 4 points the last time we played? That could have, if the game went another 3 minutes, it could have been a different story. But that's one of the reasons that we have such a great respect for both clubs, and just how they go about it. I spoke about it earlier, but how the players play their football, the integrity which they do it, and how they are as people is of the highest order. So that's why it's awesome to be in this room.
You mentioned before about a reset. What do you see as the goal for the team next season? Are you still challenging for a premiership?
I think certainly going to, over the next couple of weeks and months, into the draft and trade period and getting some new talent into the list. It's probably a little bit early to be throwing out predictions or big things like that this early in the piece. So we still need to work through what that looks like over the coming months and get stuck into pre-season and start afresh from there. But I think it might be a bit early for predictions. Everybody in the room wants to win. For high-performing groups who probably by their own admission didn't quite hit the marks that they wanted to last year, I've always found that genuine competitors will always come back ready to atone for 2026. So it should be a good year for us all.
You've had a chance to meet the playing group. Who are you looking forward to coaching most?
All of them. I did stuff this up at Brisbane. I named a couple of players in my first interview there, but I'm looking forward to coaching all of you equally, all at once. No, but yeah, I've always had great respect for them and watched and done an Oppo preview pretty in depth on this playing group. So really looking forward to working with everybody, genuinely.
Yeah. What did you make of them from afar this season?
I thought they were probably a little bit unfairly done with in terms of some of their injuries and missing key players for big parts of the year. Being a 12-week season, when you do lose a couple of key players in key positions who do sort of run that on-field leadership and on-field game style, it does take a pretty big whack out of the continuity. But in terms of that, I thought that the back end of the year was quite strong. When you can get some continuity into their key players, into some of the younger players coming through, it builds a really strong foundation going forward.
You just got here, Ryan, so it might be hard to say, but what do you see being the focus this pre-season?
Well, as with anything, you want to see your players coming back extremely fit, extremely hardened, and being the fact that we've got 4 extra practice matches tacked onto the back end of pre-season, we'll need to be coming back in relatively good condition, being match ready a fair bit earlier than been required in previous years. So I think that's fantastic for the younger players in the group to be able to play some more games of football with their team where they might not have been afforded that option in recent years.
Tim, I'm sure there's a big list of candidates for the job. What got Ryan across the line above the others?
We're in a unique position to actually have a coach who'd been with us for a long time to actually put their hand up and say this was their final season. So we did have some time to sort of work through and speak to different stakeholders, including the playing group. But in my time, what I like to do in terms of some of these leadership positions is put someone who's raring to go, who's passionate, who's enthusiastic, needs that opportunity to show that they can take the head coach. And full Ryan came to the interviews, and he was passionate, and his love for women's sport sort of really shone through, and his strong football intelligence. So we thought, he smashed it in his first interview, and we just probably did a little bit of background on him, and we just thought he was a right fit for our footy club and where we want to go.
In terms of other stuff, Tim, what's the timeline for Debbie at the moment? How's that looking?
I know a lot of people on a different topic. Look, a lot of people are driving past, and you can see that it's making some really good progress across South Road. This never usually happens, especially if you're renovating a house. We're slightly ahead of schedule. We are publicly saying February 2027, but we'd love to get there earlier. So it's going well, thanks to Commercial in general. Our builders as well are doing a great job.
I think the suggestion was you might be able to get there as early as October next year. Is that still on track?
Well, that's an internal aim, no doubt. We'd love to be able to move the entire club come that October, November, and hold a premiership club aloft at the end of the AFLW season next year.
How much are you looking forward to getting into a new facility down at Thurman?
Yeah, love to. It's always good getting a shiny new toy, so can't wait to get the new digs up and going.
Tim, can I ask you about your other senior coaches as well? A lot of noise as we came into Matthew Nix's last contract. How will the club handle that situation heading into another contract?
Yeah, look, with Nixie, I think he's heading into his 7th season with a footy club. He's been a terrific coach for our club, and it's sometimes challenging when you come in as a rebuild coach, and yeah, we've been on this great steady path, and he's got a lot out of the group last year, and we're in constant conversation about where his future lies at this footy club, and I'm confident that those conversations will progress over the next few weeks.
So is that next few weeks, is that something you'd like to get sorted and out of the way before the men's season, so it's not a distraction?
Yeah, I would like to do that.
Do you expect that to happen?
Yeah, I'm hopeful that we can work through that in the coming period of time before the season starts.
Thanks,
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.